All right, got my resume, 3 bars of Wi-Fi. Computer's at 48%. That should be enough. Let me just log on here. Hi, I'm Courtney. It's nice to meet you. You can't hear me? No. Let me see if I can turn this up or anything. Can you hear me now? No? Oh no. Tip 1. Test out your technology before your interview.
As many times as you might have used your laptop's camera or your microphone before, it's a really good idea to test it out, a few hours or even the day before the interview, because you just never know what's going to change with your settings or what might go wrong. And try testing it out on the platform that's going to be used. Headphones are really useful because the sound quality tends to be better than if you're using just the microphone that's inside your laptop. Even if it's just the simple headset that came with your smartphone, as long as that can plug into your laptop, or if you could do a Bluetooth connection, that can work well too. But I think the sound quality is usually better when you have a headset.
Tip 2. Ask family or roommates not to use Wi-Fi during your interview.
The Wi-Fi that you asked about is really important to test out because with video, you're using more bandwidth. And so if you have pretty weak internet service to begin with, it might affect the quality of your video. And if needed, you might have to wire into your actual modem instead of using Wi-Fi. That can help solve that problem as well. The other thing to think about with bandwidth is if everybody in your home is home and they're all using the internet or some kind of streaming thing on your internet at the same time as your video interview, that's going to bring down the quality of your interview as well. So if you can ask everybody just to refrain for that hour or whatever it is that you have your interview, that can be a really huge help to make everything look well and make sure that things work properly on your end.
Tip 3. Pay attention to lighting and check what your background is.
Having a fairly clean background that isn't too cluttered with things. There are different ways that you can do virtual backgrounds now for different platforms, or you can blur the background on some platforms. So look for those settings as well. Those can kind of help just to not distract anyone from what you're saying. So when you're preparing for either live or pre-recorded video interviews, you want to make sure that the lighting that you have in the room is in front of you, so that it actually lights up your face and that you can be seen pretty well. If the light source is behind you, if you have a lamp behind you or a window, it's going to shadow your face and just make it much more difficult for people to see you when you're actually giving your answers. You might have to move some furniture around to give you the ideal situation.
Tip 4. Dress professionally and avoid bright colors and patterns.
You should also dress pretty professionally. So what you would wear for a regular job interview, you can wear that to a video interview as well. I know that oftentimes we think maybe we could be in yoga pants on the bottom and a blazer on top, but I would recommend just kind of doing the whole thing just in case you have to get up at some point during the interview. So when you're looking for what to wear during a job interview that's a video interview, I would say solid color shirts are better than patterned shirts for the most part. Solid colors tend to not look too busy on the screen. Sometimes patterns can actually make the pixels on the screen do funny things and just look off, and it can be pretty distracting. Muted colors are also pretty good. So nothing too bright. So white, yellow, red, anything that's really bright can do sort of reflect that light in the room or just kind of bounce on the screen a little bit odd. So darker colors are best. As far as jewelry goes, minimal jewelry, because it's again with that light reflection thing, sometimes you'll get those little bursts of light off of a necklace or earrings that you're wearing.
Tip 5. Practice your answers and make sure to look at the camera when you're talking.
So if you're doing a pre-recorded interview, I think it's really important to just talk slowly. It'll probably sound slower in your head than it's actually coming out in real life. You'll need to practice some answers ahead of time. And this is also a really good best practice for a regular interview that's in person or face-to-face. Practice speaking, looking at the camera instead of looking down at your resume or looking on your screen wherever you have your answers kind of pre-written, because that's going to make eye contact with the other person, even if they're only watching this recording afterwards. You really have to kind of proceed like another person is there and you're really talking to someone. So have warm facial expression, smile on occasion, and just kind of pretend or act as though you're really talking to a real person, because a real person will be reviewing your answers. For a live video interview where you're really talking face-to-face with someone on video, you have to remember to make sure that your face is matching whatever you're talking about. So when you're enthusiastic, you want to be smiling. Sometimes when we're on video, we just kind of get stuck in this robot face mode, and it's really important to have natural facial expressions on video as well. I would also say that leaving time and space in between your answers and letting the person on the other end of your call pick up the conversation and ask the next question or clarify what you said is a good idea. You have to leave a little bit of that buffer space, because for them, there might be a little bit of a delay, or they just aren't sure if you're done talking. So you want to make sure you stop talking and then let them follow up with either their next question or their next comment.
Even if you've triple checked your technology, sometimes it fails. So make sure to get your interviewer's phone number to quickly let them know what happened. Don't forget to take some deep breaths, and good luck on your interview.